6 months from the 2024 presidential election, Trump's position seems to be better to get the White House as compared to at any point in either of his previous campaigns. Definitely, he leads Joe Biden by slim margins in most polls and in several of the 7 swing states likely to determine the outcome. The former President Donald Trump was the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021, consecutive second presidential term in the 2024 U.S. presidential election on November 15, 2022. Trump ran on a platform of greatly increasing the executive power of branches over the federal government. Other campaign problems are implementing anti-immigrant policies and a massive deportation operation, and also pursuing an isolationist, America First foreign policy agenda, denying climate change, using clean energy, terminating the Department of Education, implementing anti-LGBT policies, and pursuing what has been called a neo-mercantilist trade agenda. On November 5th, Americans will elect their next president. However, the contest will feel familiar. The main two powerful candidates are the same as in 2020. Joe Biden faced no viable competition for the Democratic nomination. However, Donald Trump easily saw off a crowded field in the Republican primary. Basically, it will be the first rematch election in almost 70 years. Joe Biden is the 81-year-old candidate. He will be the oldest ever major party presidential candidate, breaking his own record set in 2020. Mr. Biden won a seat in the Senate at the age of 30 and held it for over 3 decades. He also made failed bids for president in 1988 and 2008 and served as Barack Obama's vice president. Despite a reputation as a centrist Democrat, in office he has pushed to expand the state and lobbied for unions. Although he promises to finish the job if re-elected, many voters think the job may finish him. Whereas Donald Trump is a former president, however, his extraordinary campaign follows his no less remarkable term as America's 45th president. He is 77 years, 77-year-old candidate. Mr. Trump is a self-proclaimed billionaire who made much of his money in real estate before he became a reality TV star. This time, his campaign pairs familiar culture war issues with fresh grievances. Mr. Trump was defeated in the last election, and his supporters tried to overturn the result. In addition to 3 other criminal matters, he faces federal charges over his alleged participation in that scheme. In April, his first criminal trial. High inflation, significant industrial policy bills, and unrest overseas in Afghanistan, Ukraine, and the Middle East have characterized the presidency of Mr. Biden. No doubt both men are unpopular. The election will be more of a referendum on which candidate Americans believe to be the least bad than it will be a popularity contest. The race is being followed by The Economist. The most recent polls remember that until the end of the summer in an election year, pre-election polls have limited value for the outcome. However, the election is still many months away. But with the 2 candidates now in effect decided, the campaign can begin in earnest. American president to face a criminal trial. On this, Trump punches back and denigrates his former top advisors. But beneath the typical torrent of invective, there is a larger lesson he has taken away. I let them quit because I have a heart. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't think I'll do that again. From now on, I'll fire. Trump would be willing to build migrant detention camps and deploy the U.S. military, both at the border and inland. He would also let red states monitor women's pregnancies and prosecute those who violate abortion bans. He would be willing to fire a U.S. attorney who doesn't carry out his order to prosecute someone, breaking with a tradition of independent law enforcement that dates from America's founding. He is weighing pardons for every one of his supporters accused of attacking the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, more than 800 of whom have pleaded guilty or been convicted by a jury. He might not come to the aid of an attacked ally in Europe or Asia if he felt that country wasn't paying enough for its defense. He would gut the U.S. Civil Service, deploy the National Guard to American cities as he sees fit, close the White House Pandemic Preparedness Office, and staff his administration with acolytes who back his false assertion that the 2020 election was stolen. Trump remains the same guy with the same goals and grievances. But at this time, he appears more assertive and confident. As he said, "When I first got to Washington, I knew very few people, and I had to rely on people. Now, he is in charge." He also said that he would not seek to overturn or ignore the Constitution's prohibition on a 3rd term. Every election is a national turning point. That seems accurate this time. However, to supporters, the prospect of Trump 2.0, unconstrained and backed by a disciplined movement of true believers, offers revolutionary promise. Well, it poses a frightening risk to a large portion of the remainder of the country and the planet. According to presidential historian Douglas Brinkley, a second term for Trump may mean the end of our democracy and the birth of a new kind of authoritarian presidential order. In an interview, Trump says he might fire U.S. attorneys who refuse his orders to prosecute someone. It would depend on the situation. He's told supporters he would seek retribution against his enemies in a second term. However, Trump demurs but offers no promises. No, I don't want to do that. We're going to look at a lot of things. What they've done is a terrible thing. What? Trump has also vowed to appoint a real special prosecutor to go after Biden. I wouldn't want to hurt Biden, he tells me. I have too much respect for the office. After a while, he suggests Biden's fate may be tied to an upcoming Supreme Court, ruling on whether presidents can face criminal prosecution for acts committed in office. If they said that a president doesn't get immunity, then Biden, I am sure, will be prosecuted for all of his crimes. While Biden has not been charged with any, and a House Republican effort to impeach him has failed to unearth evidence of any crimes or misdemeanors, high or low. As president, Trump nominated 3 Supreme Court justices who voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, and he claims credit for his role in ending a constitutional right to an abortion. At the same time, he has sought to defuse a potent campaign issue for the Democrats by saying he wouldn't sign a federal ban. In our interview, he declined to commit to vetoing any additional federal restrictions if they came to his desk. More than 20 states now have full or partial abortion bans. While President Biden has said he would fight state anti-abortion measures in court and with regulation, Trump is less cryptic on current U.S. troop deployments in Asia. If South Korea doesn't pay more to support U.S. troops there, to deter Kim Jong-un's increasingly belligerent regime to the north, Trump suggests the U.S. could withdraw its forces. We have 40,000 troops that are in a precarious position, he says, which doesn't make any sense. Why would we defend somebody? And we're talking about a very wealthy country. However, what will the final result of the presidential race we see on the 5th of November? Well, if you liked this interesting video, then please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned for the latest updates. We'll catch you next time we go into the world of stars. Goodbye for now.